You know, there's an epidemic sweeping across the globe right now, but it's not one you're likely to see on the news. It's a silent, almost invisible crisis, and it's caused by a tiny parasite that has infected nearly 1 billion people. So let's dive in and uncover the story of the hookworm. Take a look at that number, 900 million people. That's more than 1 in 10 people on this entire planet currently playing host to this parasite. I mean, the scale is just staggering, making it one of the most common parasitic infections in the world. And this is what it costs every single day. These parasites collectively drain 7 million liters of blood from their human hosts daily. To put that into perspective for you, that's like filling almost 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools with blood every 24 hours. So what exactly is behind this planet-sized problem? Well, we're talking about 2 main species of parasitic worms. You and I know them as hookworms, and they're the culprits behind this widespread infection that doctors call Ancylostomiasis. All right, let's meet the villains of our story. On one side, you've got Necator americanus, the New World hookworm. Fun fact, despite its name, it's all over the Americas, Africa, and Asia. It's armed with these curved cutting plates to latch on. Then you have Ancylostoma duodenale, the Old World hookworm, which you'll find mostly in the Mediterranean and northern Asia. This one uses sharp teeth. So, different weapons, but the same devastating goal. So, how does this whole thing even happen? Well, their life cycle is it's incredible. It all kicks off with eggs in contaminated soil, which then hatch into larvae. From there, they go on this amazing and, frankly, pretty terrifying journey through a human host to grow up and start the whole cycle over again. Let's follow that journey, step by step. Okay, so the invasion starts where we're most vulnerable, our bare skin. This is the parasite's front door, and it usually happens when someone walks barefoot on contaminated soil. And the very first sign of trouble, it happens right at that point of entry. As the larvae burrow into the skin, it causes this intense, localized rash that's often called ground itch. This is basically the body's only external alarm bell that an invasion is underway. But once they're inside, these microscopic larvae don't just stay put. Oh no. They hop into the bloodstream and embark on a grand tour of the body, with a really critical stopover in the lungs. Now, as the larvae are literally migrating through your lungs, they can cause some real respiratory issues, things like bronchitis or pneumonitis. From the lungs, they travel up your windpipe, get coughed up, and then they're swallowed. That's how they start the final leg of their journey. So, after being swallowed, the larvae finally arrive at their ultimate destination, the small intestine. It's here that they mature into adults, and this is where the real damage begins. Okay, let's see how this all builds up to the most severe symptoms. The adult worms, which are only about 1 centimeter long, by the way, latch onto the intestinal wall. This causes direct pain, sure, but the main problem is the constant chronic blood loss. This relentless feeding leads to iron deficiency, then anemia, and in the worst cases, it can even cause heart failure. So let's be crystal clear about what we mean by anemia. This isn't just about feeling a bit tired. It's a serious medical condition where your body isn't getting enough oxygen because you don't have enough healthy red blood cells. For kids, this can stunt their growth and brain development. For adults, it's completely debilitating. This is the #1 danger of a long-term hookworm infection. Now, after hearing all that, it might seem like a totally daunting problem. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. This devastating cycle is entirely preventable and totally treatable. So, this is the key question, isn't it? If we have almost 1 billion people affected, how in the world do we fight back and finally break this vicious cycle of infection? Well, believe it or not, finding out if someone is infected is remarkably simple. A diagnosis is made just by identifying the tiny hookworm eggs in a stool sample. You don't need some complex, expensive test. The solution is basically a 3-pronged attack. First, you treat the infection with a really effective low-cost medication, like mebendazole. But the real power is in prevention. Proper sanitation, something as basic as a toilet, stops the eggs from ever getting into the soil. And simply wearing shoes creates a physical barrier. I mean, think about that. These aren't high-tech solutions. They are the absolute pillars of basic public health. And this really brings us to the heart of the matter. We have a simple diagnosis, we have a cheap and effective treatment, and the prevention methods boil down to sanitation and shoes. And yet 900 million people are still infected. The persistence of hookworm isn't a medical mystery. It's a symptom of deep poverty and a massive lack of infrastructure. It thrives in places where clean water, sanitation, and basic healthcare are luxuries, not rights. So the question we're left with is this: what does it say about global health inequality when one of the world's most widespread diseases could be defeated by things that so many of us take for granted every single day?